Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do the weekly reading for Gemini. Alrighty. Every time I move it doesn't go back to the same spot, so I have to fiddle with it every time because I've got a little bit of OCD when it comes to the camera angle, making sure I get everything in. Okay, so Gemini, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Do remember the readings are general, only general. If they don't resonate, they weren't your reading. It's quite interesting really how people don't get that, because I see the comments underneath and I think, it really doesn't seem right to me. Like, you're reading a reading and it's talking about somebody from your past coming back, and then underneath you say, I don't want anybody from my past coming back. Well, then it wasn't your reading. If it is your reading and it does resonate with you, make sure you give it a thumbs up and help me grow the channel. Okay, and if you're unsure how to decipher a reading, I've put something up on the on my page to tell you how to work with a tarot reading, so you understand. Because people often ask me about divine timing, and I think, well, divine timing means that it will come in when it's ready. That could be next week, it could be next year, it might be in 10 years. Divine timing means it's when it's ready, when you're vibrating at the same vibration as the thing you're trying to manifest. Whether that be a person, a car, a house, a job, you have to be in the right vibration. And that means you need to work for it. It doesn't come just as an easy thing. If you want what you want, you can have something else, but it's going to be something that doesn't really bring in what you want if you're willing to accept that. So if you're going after a job, for example, where you want this job and you've got this idea in your head of the job you want, and someone offers you a much different job, but it's not what you want, you can take that. Absolutely. But it won't be the job you want. Wait for the job you want and make sure it vibrates with you. All right, so we have the Death card coming through first, and the Death card is the card of Scorpio. Now, when the Death card comes out, it's saying that there is something that you need to let go of. Some part of you that needs to die off. Now, it could be that you're, it could be, you know, something as simple as a relationship or job that needs to go. But sometimes it can be a lot deeper than that. It can be something about yourself that no longer serves you. It's a way of thinking, for example. But something needs to go when the Death card appears. It certainly does, because behind that we have the World cards. You have two major arcanas coming here, Gemini. The universe is saying to you, something is done here. Something is done and dusted. Whatever this is, there's no life here. It's not for you anymore. It's time to move on, time to let go here. The World card. All right, so we have the Four of Wands coming through. This is quite interesting energy. Okay. The Four of Wands represents a long-term commitment, a relationship. So for some of you, there may be a need for you to move on from something that you once committed to, but is no longer right for you. You've outgrown it. It's just not working anymore. There's some sort of communication that needs to take place here. And the communication is coming in very, very rapidly. That's going to help you here. Move away from a situation with the Six of Swords. Okay, the Moon is behind that, so there's another major arcana, and then look, we have the Six of Wands, so this is a victory. All right, so it seems to me that you need to move away from something that's dead in the water. It's done, it's finished. But there seems to be some sort of communication that needs to take place in order for you to have a victory and move forward. So maybe you haven't had this honest conversation with someone. Maybe you haven't disclosed yet that you want to move on or you want to move away from something. Maybe you need to have this honest conversation with someone. But whatever it is, you need to do that. You need to move on. That's what the cards are saying. So for some of you, you may have had a realization, a wake-up call, an epiphany. You may be taking time out here to really understand what you want. And I feel like with this sort of energy here, It's like you've had this realization that you can't keep investing in something. Something's not giving back here. All right, so we have the Temperance card coming through. Ooh. Page of Swords and the Fool card. I think you're waiting for the right time here to have a conversation or have communication, perhaps with someone over a relationship, but for some of you, this may be about work. I really feel like you have been investing in something that is no longer sort of reaping the benefits for you. There's very much this energy of sitting back and realizing that there's just nowhere to go with this anymore, that whatever this is done. And the Temperance card tells me here that the time is actually right for this. So it's almost like you're understanding that you've done everything you possibly could now. It's time to go. And it's funny because with the manifestation, it very often means that you're needing to go because something new is coming in and you've got to be ready for it with this Fool card. So it may be you've let go of something or you're walking away from something. And you're not realizing that something better is on the other side of the fence. And you're being called to do this, but you're not realizing why you're being called. You may be lost in the sadness of leaving something behind, when in fact something better lies for you on the horizon here. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, see, 9 of Cups. Wow. All right, 5 of Wands, but you're stuck here worrying about letting go, and you needn't worry. The universe is looking after you here. Queen of Pentacles coming through. For some of you, this is about leaving a relationship behind, but I feel like you know now that that's what you have to do. What I want to say to you is there's this very strong feeling, especially with the 9 of Cups here, that because you've left it a long time, something is sitting waiting for you here. So whether this is a new job, a new relationship, this period of time in between, and you may well have done your grieving already within this situation, because it feels to me like you're moving on to something fairly quickly here. Whether that's another relationship, a job, but another situation, it's almost like it's on your doorstep. So I feel like you've prolonged something here. And quite honestly, I'm surprised that the Tower hasn't come out if you've prolonged this for too much time. Let's have a look. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands. This is your passion coming in. This is self-investment. Okay, and the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, King and Queen of Pentacles are here. This could be a marriage, but it can also mean that you have a matched or someone in your future who's far better matched for you here. If this is about a job, you could be moving into a much better job here, something that suits you much more. But for some unknown reason, you've been stuck in this past energy here. There seems to be this energy that you've been self-investing though. So if you've been in a very negative situation, the really beautiful energy here is that you've been investing in yourself. All right, so we have the Death card coming through, implying with the World card that something has to come to an end. For some of you, whatever this situation was, it may have been at one time very stable, very lucrative. It may have been something you saw around for a long time. But I feel like there's some sort of communication that needs to take place. And I feel like you're moving away from something here with the 6 of Swords. What I love here is that although this hasn't taken place yet, there is a very strong feeling with the moon that, you know, things are going to come up here that you did not realize you had. But I love that you've got the 6 of Wands, implying there's victory here at the end of all this. So that's really nice, because whatever you're leaving behind here, the universe is saying there's something so much better waiting for you. But because you've left it a long time, you've put this other thing on hold. But I think it's going to come in quite quickly. There appears to be some concern about leaving something behind, whatever this is for you. And with all the Pentacles here, I feel like for some of you, this is about a job. Fear of maybe leaving that job and not having something to go to. And I'm here to tell you that something is right here on your doorstep, and it's far better than what you had. So I'll put a few more cards on this. Whoop. Your wish cards here. And then the wish card. You can't deny that there isn't something better for you on the horizon. All right, change of direction. Yes, choice made. 3 of Swords, some hurt and heartbreak behind this. But the Hermit energy here is to say you're healing, and we have the High Priestess. You're following your intuition, Gemini, here. Ah, and there's the Star. Beautiful. You have 3 major arcanas coming out to clarify your reading. So I feel here that there is some heartbreak about leaving something behind. For some of you, this definitely could be a relationship, but it also could be a job that you've had for a very long time, which is maybe a little bit hurtful about moving on from something. It is even hard to leave a job. There is a certain amount of grieving that needs to be done, especially if you're working with really cool people. But the Hermit card tells me here that you've already, and I got this before, there's already been a lot of healing in this situation. So it's almost like you've done a lot of grieving and healing within the situation. So you're definitely ready here. But what I love most of all is this energy. So it's like you are understanding now how to follow your destiny. So although it's been difficult to let something go, with the Star card, it talks about wishes coming true too. But these are different wishes because of the High Priestess here. It's being able to see that in front of you there is something so much better. You're following your inner light here. You're following this star. It's a very, very nice energy coming through. All right, let's read. Let's have a look at, we're going to go the Moonology card here. All right, a new romantic cycle begins. So for many of you, this is about love. New moon in Libra. New moon in Libra. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating, and that's the communication that's coming through. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you, and for someone else, a new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who'll be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. So there's very much this energy of having to talk through something with somebody, and I feel like that's what you're finishing out now. But it does talk about legal matters going your way. So if it's a legal matter, you're coming into a new time with that. Marriage or engagement is on the card, so it could be you're moving from something to move to a much more stable situation. But I think it's very much about having harmony in this situation. It says here Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It's harmonious, kind and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. I feel like that this is because it's connected to partnerships. For many of you, this could be walking away from a business or a relationship here. But I do think that somehow or another, this new moon in Libra energy is bringing you into some sort of balance here so you can have that conversation. So it may be here that you need to either talk to someone about breaking up, talk to someone about moving away from something, but you're avoiding the conversation a little bit. I wouldn't. I think that here, with this Fool card especially, that this is implying that this is ready now. It's ready for you to move on. It's ready for you to take a leap of faith. But you've got to trust in yourself here. But with the, this High Priestess and Star card here, and also the Wish card, I'm feeling like at the moment you may feel like this is quite a difficult journey. And you may be deliberating, but I feel like this week you're going to make a decision here to move this thing forward and go in a different direction. You're very much taking on the Swords energy to have that conversation. And I think that will bring around great change and a new pathway for you. Gemini, thank you for watching.